Hey everybody, we're doing our live Radio Tuesday broadcast from the road. I'm just had a killer salad at Jason's Deli, and now I'm heading back to the Iron Garage Gym in Salem, Alabama. And so we're going to talk about some stuff on the way. So welcome everybody to the Dempsey's Resolution Fitness Hour. I'm Eric Dempsey, and we are back to Salem. So we're going to talk about first, we want to talk about dining out. I just had a killer salad at Jason's Deli. Super healthy. I put it together myself. It was fabulous. And, you know, it's just one of those things where if you search for a healthy option, you can find it. You can make all the healthy meals you want at Jason's Deli, or places across the country similar to that. All right, and really, if you go to any restaurant, there's healthy options out there. And so you just gotta ask yourself, you know, are you gonna take the time to really do what's required to find a healthy option? Man, wow, this thing's vibrating like woo doggy. All right, I guess that's just how it's gonna be. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, buddy, there we go. Probably gonna shake, rattle, and roll. So, when you go out to eat, everybody's afraid of it. The first thing we're talking about is dining out, right? The fear of dining out. When people are on a diet or watching their weight, they freak out about that, going to a restaurant or going out to eat, or, you know, like, I don't want to cook tonight. And, you know, I mean, you figure if you, especially if you got like mom at home and she's cooking for the family every night after working all day, or, you know, whether she works at home all day or whether she has a, you know, an outside of the house career, either way, she's working all day and then she's got to fix dinner for everybody when you come home. So that's a lot of work, right? So you got to figure, you know, sometime you got to give mom a break, or whoever it is in your family that does all the cooking and all the work. It's usually mom, right? Let's give credit where credit's due, right? Moms rule the world, and, you know, there's so many hardworking moms out there that some are just professional stay-at-home housewives, some are just, you know, on-the-go career women that just killing it 24/7 in the hustle and grind. And then, you know, like the average people just scraping by, just trying to feed their kids, right? Either way, everybody's trying to do the best they can for the most part. And going out to eat is one of them things where, you know, there's actually several classifications of it, right? So one of the things, the big thing we want to talk about is just the general fear of going out when you're on some kind of weight loss nutrition program. And, you know, it's like there's absolutely no need to fear going out. No need whatsoever, right? But you got to know what you're doing. Now, number one, you got to break it down. There's several categories of going out to dinner, all right? And when you're talking about going out to dinner, we're talking about like, is it once in a blue moon, okay? The occasional diner. Occasional, you know, like, all right, once a week, once every 2 weeks, go out to eat, right? Or maybe a couple times a week on the weekends or whatever. And then you have the people who eat out like 3 to 5 days a week, almost every night. And then you got the people who, you know, just fast food's all they do. And then you got people who never dine out, that probably really should take a break and go out to eat. So you get these different categories, and whichever one you fall into, it makes a difference on how it impacts you psychologically. Because, you know, I do food psychology coaching, and one of the things that I have to talk to people about when we're talking about nutrition is where does this fit into the mind game, right? Into the mind game. So one of the things you got to look at is, you know, are you a necessity diner? Are you a necessity eater? Meaning, do you not like to cook out, or correction, cook at home? Do you like you don't go to the grocery store, you don't buy groceries, you don't come home and cook. Some people just come home from work and they're like, you know what, dude, I'm done with all this, you know. But, and some people, you know, they got to fix every meal themselves. But, you know, it's one of them things where everybody's different. Everybody's got to be focused on, you know, what do you got to do to improve your situation? That's why the generic cookie cutter programs aren't, you know, they're not good for everybody, because everybody's stuff is different. So, anyway, necessity eaters are people who will not cook at home, and they won't go get groceries, they won't prep their meals, and they go out for every meal. You know, it's all fast food and eating out. Now those people got some issues, and and if you're one of them, you gotta look at, like, if you're overweight and you're having problems because you eat out all the time, and you think it's a necessity because, you know, if I don't eat out, I'm not gonna eat, okay? And that's why they call them necessity eaters, because they think it's a necessity, like, basically you're going to starve to death if you don't eat out, because you're not going to cook anything on your own, you're not going to prep anything at home, you're not going to get groceries, so it's either you eat out or you don't eat at all. Well, I got news for you. Seriously doubt that that's ever really the case for anybody. That's a personal choice, okay? And if you got some kind of health issues, if you're overweight, and you're wondering why you can't make progress and all of this, you know, and you're one of those type of people, you know, a lot of people shoot themselves in their own foot, right? Well, that's one way to do it. So what do you do with a person like that? How do you help someone who won't get groceries, won't cook at home? I am not doing it. I can't do it. I'm tired when I come home from work. I need to already have my food with me or get a takeout. Well, you know, if you want to get healthy, you can still do that. You just need to eat healthy options. And like I said, you know, your food choices when you go out, dining out is not an issue, because you can go out and eat super healthy foods. You could go out and eat super healthy foods multiple times a day. But people don't usually, right? They go out and they hit fast food, quick and easy. Everybody wants instant gratification without doing any of the work, with all of the results, right? That's what they want. You want all the perks and benefits without ever doing any of the work. Well, that's not how life works, buddy. So, you know, if you think you're going to get super lean and fit and you're going to eat out all the time and never prep your meals or cook and never do nothing at home, then, you know, it can be done. Super difficult, very expensive. Don't recommend it, but, you know, whatever. And that's one of those things. That's your choice. I would recommend not doing that kind of stuff. And, you know, so a necessity eater is one of them things. They're out there and they swear they ain't got time to do it. All right, what the reality is they just refuse to do it. Okay, there's no such animal. There's nobody that's a necessity eater that's legitimate. Okay, nobody. I don't care who you are. Okay, now that doesn't mean you might not need to bring food with you. Okay, but you don't need to eat out. You know, you might need to pack your own food, but you don't need to go to a restaurant for all your meals or eat fast food. You just don't need to. So that's just one of those things where if you want to change your body, but you don't want to change how you're eating and how your lifestyle is, you know, it doesn't work like that. You've got to be ready to change. Ready to change. Man. You know, people on the road, wow. You know, when you see people passing on a highway in the breakdown lane, you know, in the shoulder, man, you wonder why people get killed in accidents and stuff, right? People are insane. So, kind of like the same with necessity eaters. If you know, just there's no excuse other than to eat out, or you won't eat at all. It's one of those things like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? Because you'd have to really have a pretty tough job if that was the case. All right. If you have an office job, you know, there's no excuses for that crap, you know. If you have an office job, most offices have a break room with a refrigerator in it. Hell, a lot of people have refrigerators in their own offices, especially if if you're actually making any kind of money. If you get your own office, then odds are you probably may have a desk, or you get access to it. You may have a refrigerator by your desk or whatever, but either way, you're going to be able to bring food to work, okay? So that means you could prep the food at home, bring it in. When I had a desk job where I had access to a refrigerator, I used to bring in bags of food every day, and I prepped all kind of meals. Did I eat out? Yeah, a couple times a week. You know, I went out with the boys at work, got lunch together. It was a social thing. It was a planned social thing. It wasn't because, I was a necessity eater and I had to eat out because I'd starve to death because there's just no other option. All right? If that's you, you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, rock and roll if that's your bad self, but if you think you're going to change anything and act like that, you're not, okay? So, whatever. I mean, like, there comes a line where you gotta, you know, when you're talking about weight loss and nutrition and changing your body and you want to do all this, but you're going to be all whacked out and do all of these extreme things like, you know, only eat out because you just can't do it any other way, then, you know, your odds of success, your chances of success on any kind of weight loss program other than like starving yourself, just don't eat, pretty slim, you know, unless you're on the like death camp diet plan where, okay, you're just going to get coffee and water for 12 hours a day and then you can have some celery sticks when you get home. Oh, no, you couldn't have celery sticks when you got home because that would require you to stop at a store and buy some and bring them home, right? And you can't, necessity eaters just can't do that because you just don't have time. You're so busy, right? Okay, whatever, dude. You know, it's like, good luck with that weight loss program you're on. So, you got to change your attitude first. Eat